everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. Today's That Time I Met will be for one of my favorite actresses of all time. She was in Riverdale and Katie Keene. I met her before Katie Keene came out, and I have a little bit of a funny story for how I met her, so I thought it would make it interesting That Time I Met, because it's not just like I went to a Comic-Con and I met her. And the actress that I'll be talking about today is Ashleigh Murray, who plays Josie in Riverdale and Katie Keene. So last summer, I was outside on a swing with my mom, and I was just scrolling through Facebook, and we were talking about how the next day we were gonna go swimming because I was trying to get some horizontal exercise to help me with my chronic illness. But I was like multitasking and scrolling through Facebook, and I don't even scroll through Facebook often, so I can't really tell you why I decided to scroll through Facebook that day, but I did. And I got this ad from Columbia Gorge Outlets, and I was like, how close is Columbia Gorge Outlets? Because in my brain I'm like, I feel like that's semi-close to me, but I wasn't sure. And it said that they were having a back to school bash, and that Ashleigh Murray was going to be there, and that it was free to meet her. And I was like, okay, this is a Facebook ad. Maybe I shouldn't trust this, because I know that sometimes Facebook is a little, I don't know, sketchy. I don't even know if that's the right word. I just don't trust everything I see on Facebook. So I was like looking at the event information, and then there was a video of Ashleigh Murray talking, and it was funny. She said something along the lines of, I'm excited to meet all of you at Columbia Gorge Outlets, and I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, she's not from Oregon, so like I understand saying the name wrong, but it was still funny to me in the moment. And so I was like, hey mom, could we go to Columbia Gorge Outlets tomorrow? Because I saw the ad the day before the event. And she was like, maybe. So we were like trying to work out the details, and I was like, I really want to do this, I really want to do this. So we got it all worked out so that I could go. It was a little bit of a drive because I don't really live super close to the Columbia Gorge, and the coordinators of the event were really nice. I have a chronic illness, which makes it so that it's really difficult for me to stand up. Today my heart rate hit 133 when I went from sitting to standing earlier, and I just checked because I wasn't feeling well and because I got like white spots in my vision. So I really can't stand for very long because I run the risk of passing out. So I contacted the Columbia Gorge Outlets before the event, and they were really nice, and they got a chair for me, so that as soon as I got there they gave me a chair, and they helped me get to the front of the line so that I could get my photo earlier. I always feel bad doing that because I feel like there's people that are worse off than me, so I shouldn't be using accommodations, but like I run the risk of passing out if I don't use accommodations, so I don't know. So the day of, we drove there, and we drove there pretty earlier than I normally wake up, and we got there and there wasn't too many people there, and I was like, sweet, there is not going to be a super long line, but there was a little bit of a line. So I sat down, and then they immediately saw me and brought me a chair, and I like saw Ashleigh Murray right there, and I'm like, it's happening, it's really happening, it's really happening. I'm about to meet Josie from Riverdale. And I was like freaking out, but I was also really sick, so I was like freaking out from anxiety and from excitement. And then I got up to meet her, and there was a free autograph and a free picture with her, and I got 2 pictures with her. So the first picture is just me and her, and as soon as I walked up, she's like, come closer. And I didn't say anything out loud, but in my brain I was like, I'm really anxious, but it's just like crazy that she's right there, and she's in Columbia Gorge out of all places, because that to me is like a smaller city than where I live. So I'm like, this is crazy that she's right here. And then she had beautiful nail polish on, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I took a picture with her, and then I got my mom to come over and get a picture with her too, because my family watched Riverdale together for the first 3 seasons. I watched the 4th season by myself. But yeah, that was really exciting. And then she signed the picture that Columbia Gorge had for her to sign for everyone, and it was this picture of her. I love it so much. We talked a little bit about Katie Keene, and she was mentioning how there's not going to be as much murder in Katie Keene. And when I met her, I hadn't seen the final 2 episodes of season 3, so when she announced that she was going on tour with her dad, that was the episode that I watched the night before I met her. And my mom said she just announced that she's going on tour, but she forgot to say Riverdale, so Ashleigh got confused and she thought it meant that I was going on tour with my dad. So when we left, she said, say hi to your dad for me. But it was so nice to meet her. I was so anxious, but she was so nice and so kind to me and patient with me. She took some time to actually talk to us and not rush through it, and it was just amazing to meet her. I know that I probably shouldn't have gone because, I don't know, I feel like it was for teenagers, but I went, and I had just graduated high school. I don't know, but I got to meet her, and the people at the back to school bash didn't complain about my age, so it was really cool to be able to do this. And thank you to Columbia Gorge Outlets for hosting this amazing event. And then there was also like a wheel you could spin for prizes, and I went and spun the wheel after I met her, and the prizes were unrelated to Riverdale or to Ashleigh Murray. So I won a t-shirt that said Good Boys, you know, like the movie. I think I gave it to my brother because I think he watched the movie. But yeah, this back to school bash was amazing. And then there was a store that my mom liked after there, so we just went to the store. This was a quick experience, but it was also really fun, and it was really cool that it was happening in Columbia Gorge, and it got me to like travel a little bit and explore a new area, because I knew about Columbia Gorge but I hadn't really looked around there very much, so I got to see the shopping mall and stuff, and it was just a really amazing event. If you want to have an amazing experience like this where I got to meet Ashleigh Murray, I recommend not skipping through your ads on Instagram and Facebook very much. Obviously it's in the middle of COVID, so there isn't going to be any events that you can go and meet any actors or actresses right now. I'm going to put this down because I'm feeling fatigued right now and I can't hold it up. But what I was saying is, whenever you get an Instagram ad or a Facebook ad or even a Twitter ad, although Twitter ads are normally weird and they're just like from personal accounts that just want more followers. But anyways, if you see an ad for an event, look into the event. Don't just like disregard the event. Don't just be like, oh, this sponsored post, this is annoying. Like, actually look at the event. And it's honestly like a miracle that I was able to meet her, because it was like I found out less than 24 hours before the event, and I found out through a Facebook ad. And it's just still crazy to me that I got to meet Ashleigh Murray and that I got to meet her like so spur of the moment. But it was amazing and really, really awesome. So that's all for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I will have all of Ashleigh Murray's social media linked down in the description below in case you want to follow her, although I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you've probably already followed her and you like Riverdale, but I don't know. I hope all of you have a safe and amazing weekend, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye!